Welcome back to the Sports Fact Zone. Deandra Dottin produced a masterclass and unbeaten 150, but the first one-day international between West Indies and South Africa's women ended as no result in Johannesburg. Dottin's knock from 158 balls, her third ODI century, propelled the West Indies women to 234 for 3 before a second rain interruption ended their innings in the 46th over. Dottin got support from Hayley Matthews, who made 51. The two shared in a 153-run third-wicket stand. They set a revised target of 204 from 29 overs. The South African women laboured to 87 for 5 when a third rain disruption brought a premature end to play. Karishma Ramharak and Hayley Matthews claimed 2 wickets each. The Caribbean women had recovered from 27 for 2 and the loss of Stephanie Taylor due to injury. Taylor sustained a blow to the arm from a powerful Dottin drive while at the non-striker's end. She left the field at 60 for 2. So George and Lance, today I was so disappointed because I said, the moment the West Indies women are doing well, I know they did very well in the warm-up and I was thankful for that, but that was just a warm-up. The moment the women start doing well, they can't seem to catch a break.
No, you can say that again, but let me ask a question before I say anything else, or before both of you continue. The fact of a no result, does it make the milestones achieved in the game null and void?
It better not, but I think
that's
it
a question.
might.
I think that's a question.
I think it might.
Because I am heartbroken that the woman in the picture behind us, Mr. Director, you're a wicked man, yeah? The
You didn't see that one coming.
Moments ago, yeah? That she won't have her 150. She deserves her 150.
It's recorded, though.
You're certain that the no result in these circumstances means the records will reflect the statistical milestones?
Yes,
All
yes.
right.
The result is a no result,
yes.
but the statistics in the game are retained.
Man, you know, well, I don't know anybody in West Indies cricket who's not a huge fan of Deandra Dottin.
Yes.
You cannot not be a huge fan of Deandra Dottin. And the way I saw her struggle immediately after returning from injury, and couldn't be the all-rounder that we knew her to be. And you wondered if she had lost that dynamism, if injuries had robbed her of the athleticism and explosiveness which had marked her out as a truly world-class cricketer and at her best could walk into any team in world cricket in the limited overs form. You wondered if she had lost that. I think she has announced herself as being back before today's innings. Today's innings concretizes that Deandra Dottin is back and in full form.
Yeah, I have the same fear because Deandra Dottin is somebody, I genuinely enjoy watching her bat. Today she had a total of 4 sixes, 18 fours. So just imagine how amazing it was to just watch her strokes. But, she was somebody that when she got injured, I felt as if that was such a massive blow to West Indies cricket. And every time they lost a game, I'd be like, if Deandra Dottin was there, she's a game changer, she's a match winner, and things would have been differently. So just to see her come back and be her 100% self, it just gives West Indies women fans some hope again. And also she got the support from Hayley Matthews. It's very, very sad to see that Stephanie Taylor had to, and she was actually in tears. That broke my heart for sure. When she was walking out, tears streaming down her face. So,
the return of Deandra Dottin is very significant to the prospects of West Indies women's cricket. And her injury, which was often labelled a career-threatening injury because it required surgery with the shoulder. And I would suggest that because of the biomechanics of cricket, a shoulder injury is probably more of a humbug than it would be for some other sports. I know George had some shoulder issues in his younger playing days as a footballer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know how good he would have been without the shoulder injury.
But you play football, your shoulder.
No, the George who plays football now is merely a placeholder. Every time I play football, I'm distraught because the things I want to do and I could do, I can't do them. So,
but I'm suggesting that a shoulder injury for an all-rounder in cricket is a lot more threatening to the player, fulfilling his or her potential than many other sports, including football.
Yeah.
So to see Dottin, as you said, Mariah, 18 fours, 4 sixes, almost a runner ball, 150 not out today, very, very, very pleasing. And I think a lot of the other teams in international women's cricket would stand up and take note of what happened today in Johannesburg, because if Dottin is back, they're in problems.
Definitely in problems, and the moment that Stefani recovers as well. So we know that they're going to be in trouble, and I'm just happy to see our West Indies women back to winning ways. We look forward to see how the next match goes. Well, sticking with cricket, the West Indies under-19s were beaten at the semi-final stage of the Consolation Plate Championship at the ICC Youth World Cup. The Floyd Reefer coach unit surprisingly went down to the United Arab Emirates, losing by 82 runs in Port of Spain. The UAE batted first and posted 224 for 9 from their 50 overs. Afzal Khan, 93, and Shival Bawa, 51, made the most runs. The West Indians were then bundled out for 142 in 39.4 overs. 16-year-old Nathan Edward from St. Martin top scored with 51 not out. He was one of the only 3 players to reach double figures. The best possible finish for the young Windies is now 11th. Lance, not a good showing by our West Indies under-19s today. And during the tournament, I did see signs of hope from them. There were multiple times where they stepped up with the bat, with the ball as well. And, just a bit sad to see them finish so low down.
Yeah, you say a bit sad. It's hugely sad. When I saw the final total for the UAE today at 224, I said to myself, how did they get there?
Yeah.
They were 76 for 6. They were 51 for 5. And the West Indies certainly made them make too many runs. Having said that, even at 224, that should have been a gettable target for the West Indies. And I'm just wondering how, demoralized the team may be, having not, advanced to the championship round of the competition as the home team. And I don't know if that took some of the sting out of their sails. But even that, if that is so, to me, is not a good reflection on their mental state, because you missed out on the championship run. The next best is to win the plate event, and you're at home in front of fans. Well, not that fans are allowed to watch too many of the games, but disappointing that the quality of this team hasn't really shone through in this tournament.
That's one of the difficulties with youth, with coaching the youth. Whereas professionals, professional men or women, athletes, in general, adults, a disappointment, you can use the disappointment to galvanize yourself for a good finish, and there are documented ways to gee up a team to finish strong. Even though there are documented ways to try to get youngsters to give it the same response after a disappointing preliminary stage, it is still touch and go. It's still up in the air, maybe, maybe not, where the youngsters are concerned. And I thought that, yes, the biggest obstacle for them was the fact that they couldn't quite cut it on their home patch, and the disappointment of that followed them into the latter stages of the tournament, and was most evident in this match, where they completely lost the plot after working themselves into a position where they could have exerted command on the proceedings. They failed to do that because of a lack of confidence and that lingering disappointment in not being able to do better on home soil. And it's part and parcel of what happens to young players, to young teams in competitions, especially when they're playing in a context where they expect the conditions to be most favorable to them, and for them to have done better.
Well, this doesn't look too good, and I hope that, Floyd Reefer can, figure out what's going wrong with the Windies under-19, because they are the future. These are the youngsters that we're going to see in the Windies senior team very soon, and, we're tired of losing. So something needs to fix.
And the best performers for the West Indies today, Nathan Edward and Kevin Wickham, were 2 of the replacement players, so they weren't even in the original squad.
Yeah, so something has to fix. Well, viewers, still to come on the show, the Reggae Boys World Cup qualifying bid suffers a crippling blow as they surrendered a 1-0 in the last 10 minutes to lose 2-1 to Mexico on Thursday night. And then later we meet the woman who's on the cusp of more history for the Caribbean in female Formula One.